Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
Hey, welcome to the show. John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. Thanks for tuning in tonight. You can check us out at rockersinrecovery.com. Click on the About page and all kinds of information there. The navigation buttons across the top, events that are coming up, even information on how we stream. And in the top right-hand corner, you can click on the Listen Live button, listen to the streamer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, filled packed with music and interviews and all kinds of great stuff. You are listening to us tonight. You're listening to us on Facebook, or you're listening to us on any of the social media outlets, Twitter, and, of course, LinkedIn. We want to welcome you to the show. You know, Rockers in Recovery has been around since 2008. We are a media-based company, and we started out on the air, of course, in Boca Raton, Florida, on a little AM station. And, of course, we started our own streamer in 2009, and we have been a media organization that carries the message of recovery and different educational information that people can use to help their loved ones, but we're also about music too. And what we like to do is spread the hope through music. We're doing an event. It's our 29th musical event we're producing in Pompano Beach, Florida at the 101 Club. It's going to be happening on November the 10th and the 11th. The 10th is the meet and greet. It starts at 8 and goes until 10. You can also come by the next day at 1:30 in the afternoon until whenever. We have Peter Keys from Leonard Skinner going to be playing with the Rockers in Recovery All-Star Band and 6 great smoking bands from the community that are going to be playing. So we look forward to everybody coming out. You can check out rockersinrecovery.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see the flyer right on the right-hand side with all of the special event partners and our media partners. Get to know them. They're great people. Bring on my first guest tonight, Thomas Dean. Thomas Dean is with an organization called Hope and Grace Recovery Center. Hope and Grace Recovery Center has been a part of Rockers in Recovery for a few years now, and we very grateful for all the support that they give us, but most importantly, the support that they give to the community, because what they do for the community as far as outreach, and Jason F., who is Jason Fitzmyers, who is an amazing, incredible dude, that really, really helps a lot of people, and scholarships. But not only that, but he just reaches out and gives a whole lot of support to the community, and with love. Thomas, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem, man. Hey, listen, this is a great day. Any day we get to sit here and chat, clean and sober, and most importantly, we're above dirt.
Yeah, it's Friday night. It's 10 o'clock. I'm tired. I was in Chicago for 23 hours yesterday, and I'm clean, sober, and very grateful. So that didn't used to be me. So
no. Friday nights were not made for that, Tom.
No, not at all. Not at all. This is not
so where do you come from?
my MO for you. So I was born and raised in Chicago, and my story is, much like a lot of people. I married my high school sweetheart, and about the 40th time, I came home, and all my stuff was in the front lawn, and she told me to get out. She actually meant it. It was probably like the 40th time, and there was no more crying and getting back in the house, and I really had burned through every bridge I had, and I moved down to Florida, and that was in 1990, and went through the same shenanigans here, and walked into my first AA room in 1990, the latter part of it down here in Miami. And, everything happened in between, and my journey into recovery did not include one white chip, as we say. It included, 15 treatment centers and in and out of sorted places and different lengths of sobriety. But then in 2009, I finally, the last time I was in detox, I knew that if I didn't stay connected to recovery, I was a dead man, and I was convinced of it. I shouldn't be here. And, I went back to school and had a goal in mind, and I wanted to work in the recovery field. And, here I am and very grateful. So,
do you feel that it helps you to be able to work with others because you have the same issues that they have or have?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I can't believe I get paid to do what I do. Now, Fitzy, if you're listening to me, disregard that. But it doesn't feel like work, John. In 8 years that I've been doing this, a little over 8 years, I yet to have one day I don't come home from work and am filled with gratitude. And that's the God's honest truth. And I have a knack of, I think, from just being in recovery, and talks about it in our literature, in the 12 steps, and that's my experience. And there's a lot of ways to get sober. I'm a big 12-step guy, big book thumper, and it tells us in our literature sometimes we can get through in 10 minutes where it takes other people, hours, days, years, sometimes to get through. And I think that connection's just it's there from the human experience of what we go through, and it's very helpful.
Do you? It had to be a big change for you. I understand that you were in the construction business for 20 years, and then to go back to school and to do the things that you needed to do, and to go in a different direction must have been tough.
It was. Once I went back to school and stuff, it kind of got tough because, being in construction as long as I was, and I was, I had some real success. Things changed for me monetarily and everything else. But 25 years in construction, I was really burnt out on it at the end. I had lost passion for probably the last 5-7 years of doing it. I was a stonemason, and I had a masonry company. And, early in my career, I was very passionate about what I did and everything. But doing anything, I think 25 years, I had lost a lot of it. And, the other thing was I always had this knack of building up this house of cards, for lack of a better word, going out chasing money and getting it. And then, stress building up and disconnecting from recovery, going out one day and doing what I did. And, sometimes it would last a month, sometimes it would last 2 years. But I'd always end up penniless, broken, walking out of Overtown, usually without shoes on. So,
I've been there, brother.
Yeah, right. So at the end of that journey, it wasn't too difficult to say to myself, this isn't working. Let me try something else. And, so...
If you're tuning in right now with us, we are speaking with our friend Tom Dean from Hope and Grace Recovery Center. Tom is the CEO of Hope and Grace, and you can go to hopeandgracerecoverycenter.com. You can also call them at 888-836-HGRC. Again, that's 888-836-HGRC. I don't know why I have a tough time with that, Tom.
I do too, John. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad it came out of your mouth, because to get all that stuff out would have been difficult for me right now.
Well, hey, when you look at the big picture of all the things that are going on right now, I mean, the opioid epidemic, it's on the news consistently now. I mean, listen, we were dealing with this 10 years ago, and nobody was saying anything. Now that it's so bad, you got 144 people dying a day, plus. What are your feelings on being able to help the community, to be able to educate them, and to be able to give people help?
This is it's so widely talked about now, right? And it's just front and center on the news and presidential debates. And I'm personally, I think this is from the supply and demand side, I think this is a demand problem, right? On the supply side, irregardless of political beliefs, I believe I know how powerful big pharma is. I've built some houses for guys that were in that industry, and it's one of the top 3 lobbies there are. And regardless of whether you're Democrat, Republican, they fund both sides. They do it very well, and they hedge all their bets. And, I think the way to get at this is on the demand side, and that's through treatment, and that's through education. Because the truth is, I don't think we're shutting off. I think we've gone past the days where it's, the pill problem. Now that it's into heroin, the people that have gotten addicted to heroin aren't usually going backwards, right? It's like flying a plane. Once you're at 40,000 feet, it's hard to go back and fly at 10, So I just don't think there's I think the supply side's going to be there for, as long as it needs to be. As long as there's been humans on the planet, one side's always figured out how to get something into another one's area, if you know what I mean. So it's just a demand side. It's about getting people into treatment. It's about education. The crazy thing is, John, you've been around a while, and so have I. It was, although you were able to overdose off alcohol and cocaine, it was kind of rare. It was an anomaly. It didn't happen that much. And, the sad thing today is you get people that are in the same kind of circumstance and maybe haven't had enough pain, and they just end up dead. It's a different time. So I guess the object is, and the difficult part is to try to, raise people's bottoms and get them into treatment and really, get them to understand that there's a whole other side to life, and to get at the underlying issues. But it's a different game, man. It's a different game than it was 25 years ago.
If you're tuning in again, we are hanging out and having a great night of recovery, treatment, and recovery talk. And we have Thomas Dean, CEO, Hope and Grace Recovery Center. And they're out of Fort Lauderdale. And, of course, Tom's all over the country doing his work. And it's you can reach them at 888-836-HGRC. And their website is hopeandgracerecoverycenter.com. One of the things that I want to elaborate on is the work that Jason has done locally. And he started out locally and really worked hard to help a lot of people and to get a center that is working correctly. And, in the days of the Wild Wild West, you really have to make sure you know who you're working with. And, one of the things that I like about Hope and Grace is that you guys are upfront, very moral, ethical, and love the work that you're doing. They are going to be, if you are in the Pompano Beach area, they're going to be with us at the Pompano Beach Group, the 101 Club in Pompano Beach on November 10th and 11th. Please come on out and hang out. If you have questions, if you have a loved one, if you have somebody that needs help, that's the time to come on out. They're there. They're answering questions, and they're getting people help. Tom, I appreciate you being on the show and being a part of Rockers in Recovery, and I look forward to seeing you at the event.
John, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure, and I'm a guitar player myself. I'm a music freak, and I'll be out there, and I know Fitzy will too. And he's an amazing guy. I don't know if you got a second, but when I first met Fitzy, he came down at another facility I was at, and for one of these little 15-minute tours, we somebody brings somebody some donuts, and we show each other around and go, yeah, and Fitzy was there, and that little 15 minutes turned into 2.5 hours in my office, and there was such a connection, and it was just amazing, that. And then I came up and actually looked at his place and looked at what was going on. And, we scholarship more than any place I've ever seen. He's truly just about helping people, and the business is, there to keep his, altruism afloat, for lack of a better word. It's just amazing. And it's so refreshing. And I'm so privileged and filled with gratitude that, I met him and, he invited me up, and we had this connection. He brought me in. I'm forever grateful, and I'm very proud of where I work.
Good stuff, Tom. I appreciate you being on tonight, and we look forward to seeing you at the event. Please come on out, guys, and hang out with us. That's November, of course, 10th and 11th at the 101 Club in Pompano Beach. We are looking forward to having everybody out and having a good time and rocking and rolling and getting some education at the same time. Tom, again, thank you for being on the show. Love to Jason and all the rest of the folks over at Hope and Grace.
Thanks a million, John.
All right, brother. All right, man. How you doing tonight? John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery, and, of course, Rare Patient Voice. Let me tell you a little bit about this. Of course, we're going to be interviewing Wes Michael here, and he's the president and founder of Rare Patient Voice. This is an organization that provides patients and caregivers with disease and an opportunity to voice their opinions through surveys and interviews to improve medical products and services. And these guys are diligent about it, and they're going to be doing some work with us, not only at the festival coming up, but we're looking forward to 2018 and working together and getting some people to let the industry know what they need to change. And the only way you can do that is by interviewing patients. Before the show, I got on and I went to their website, which is rarepatientvoice.com, and and you click on the sign up button, and it's very easy to do this, man. It's so easy. You put in your name, your email address, you answer a few simple questions, bam, you're done, and an email confirmation comes to you. And the amazing part is just to be able to sign up to see if you're qualifying and all that. You're getting a $5 gift card just to do that. So it's kind of a cool thing, but most importantly, you're really doing it just to be able to help to improve medical products and services. Wes, how you doing tonight? I'm glad to have you on the show.
Great. Glad to be back, John. I was just listening to your last show. Boy, this is powerful stuff. Since we last talked, my daughter's 14. A friend of hers lost her dad to an overdose. It's just, as you said, it's such an epidemic. This work is so important that you guys are doing. So.
It's nonstop. I mean, I was talking with a good friend of mine, Nick C., from Clearbrook last night, and he was in Baltimore and had a girl, 25 years old, passed away from a heroin overdose. And here's the reality. It doesn't matter. She was from a very prominent family in Baltimore area, in the Maryland area, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter, man, if you're from Park Place or Park Bench.
Right. Oh, it
just doesn't discriminate. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It doesn't. It's in your DNA somewhere deep down there, and it's anybody. It can be anybody.
Well, yeah. I mean, and here's the reality of it too. It's just like yourself. When I first got involved with you guys, and I started looking at what you had, and you were talking, at one point we were talking about rare diseases. Well, listen, when you actually look at addiction as a whole, it is kind of a rare thing. But most importantly, when it does occur in somebody's life, it's not just about somebody having an addiction issue. You can also just have an issue with painkillers because you injured yourself. So you might not particularly be an addict. But that's why these surveys are so important, because you're going to find that kind of information out. And I think that what Rare Patient Voice does is it gives an opportunity for a guy like me that is a caregiver or a patient to get on there and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I've been dealing with, my addiction since 1985. And I get to be able to give you that information, and somewhere out there might be somebody looking for that information that can help other people. Is that correct? Is that how it works?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, for years, companies knew they had to talk to physicians. And that's important. They prescribe things. But finally somebody said, wait a minute, what about the people that need treatment? We need to talk to them and find out what they need. Let's not see what the experts say. I mean, they need that. But let's talk to people themselves, because they're the only people that really know how it feels and what it means and what they're looking for. And so it's kind of an obvious thing, but it's taken a long time. But finally people are like, let's talk to patients. Let's talk to their family members and find out what they think. And, that's a good thing, I think.
If you're tuning in right now, We're talking with Wes Michael, and he's the president and founder of Rare Patient Voice. You can find Rare Patient Voice by going to rarepatientvoice.com. Click on the sign up button, click on About Us. You'll get a whole lot of information there. Most importantly, you'll be able to, if you're a caregiver, you'll be able to help. And if you're a patient, you'll be able to give some great insight to what the needs are that you think the industry needs to change, like medical products or services, things like that. So it's a great opportunity for you to voice your opinion. Wes, what made you, do this whole thing? What did you wake up one day and say, something? I'm going to have Rare Patient Voice. How did it all come about?
Yeah, so it's funny. Different things, right? Why do you do things in life? I had 20 years ago. I had a client come to us. I was doing market research, and they said, "Can you build us a patient panel?" And of all things, hemophilia, very rare disease. People, a whole generation of it's typically male patients because it's a genetic thing. It affects males 99% of the time. And a whole generation of those guys were wiped out. Because remember, when HIV started, they didn't really understand it. And it would be in the blood supply. And these folks all took infusions to replace blood factor to help their clotting. And it wiped out a whole generation of folks before they realized what was going on. But anyway, so in the wake of that, companies were working on, they had much better treatments that did not have human blood in it. They had, it was all cleaned up. They said, "Can you build a panel of hemophilia patients?" And so, like a lot of people, you go, "Well, I don't know, but we'll bid on it." Right? We'll give it a shot. And we went to the hemophilia conference, and we went to different events, and we did that, and it was quite successful. They were able to get the opinions right from the patients. And somebody came to me a year or two later and said, "Hey, I hear you have this great hemophilia panel. Can we access it?" And I said, "No, it's a particular client paid for it. It's theirs." But in my mind was, hey, maybe there's a business here in bringing these people together and making their opinions available as all these different companies and professors, all these different people are interested in it. So that was in my head for many years. And then it was only a few years ago where everything came together for me to do it. And you know how it is for a lot of things. A lot of times you have to be pushed to do something. I was working in a great little company, but the guy kind of overexpanded, and he was short on funds. And he asked me if I would work for 3 months without being paid for the time being. And I thought, well, that's fair enough. Then I thought, you know what? If I'm not going to be paid, maybe I want to do something else.
Good idea.
And I had this in my mind, and everything came together. My wife had been raising the kids and hadn't been working. She had a job, so all of a sudden we had the health care, and I said, I'm going to give it a shot. And it's like one of the best things I ever did. I didn't realize what the demand was and it keeps growing. People, they realize they need to talk to the patients. And I was just down in Atlanta today. Sickle cell disease, a horrible condition that affects a lot of people, typically African Americans and Mediterranean folks. But at a conference there, talking to folks, and a lot of them are signing up. And then tomorrow I'm at a mental health event in Baltimore. So there's no shortage of events, fortunately, to meet folks and hear their stories and to give them a chance to sign up. Hey, John, I just see you sign up. I get a special thing with sign-up, so I can look into it. I see your sign-up right here, so thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Matter of fact, that's why I wanted to go through it before we got on the air and just do it so that way I could explain to everybody at the top of the hour how simple it is, because it is real simple.
It's easy, isn't it? It's just a few key things.
Yeah, very simple.
And we don't share that with anything. We use that ourselves so that we can target. So if somebody has diabetes or somebody has addiction or whatever, we don't want to bother them. I don't want to send them a sickle cell questionnaire if they don't have sickle. Let's not waste. So we use that to target folks, and then they can make a decision. But nobody ever gets their name. Nobody ever hears who they are. So they can express themselves and not worry about, because health information, you don't want anybody to have your health information. You don't know what may happen with that. So we're like the firewall there. We know who you are by name, and we pay you when you do a study, but we don't see any of your answers when you do a survey and go in depth about it. And the clients do the reverse. They see answers, but they see respondent 1, respondent 2, respondent 3. They don't know who anybody is.
Oh, that's cool the way it works.
Great way to do it.
Yeah, the anonymity end of this thing was really cool. When we did our first interview, and the people that I talked to up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, when you guys did our event up there, really, really were elegant about how they, Kirk and the other lady. I'm sorry, what was her name again?
I think Chantel was up there.
Chantel, she's a great lady. Yeah. Forgive me, Chantel, if you're listening. We'll love you. So, in the meantime, both of those folks were so laid back in how they approached me and talked to me about it, and really opened my mind to it because, again, it's all about health and education and getting people the information, and this fit perfectly for what we were doing. So, and now you're back with us. You're going to be doing, of course, the upcoming event that's going to be happening.
Yeah, the 101.
Yeah, man. We're looking
101 Club. Tiffany and Dean are going to be there. I think they're great.
Oh, really?
There's Tiffany's. Yeah, Tiffany's a teacher, and she does a lot of work for us, and Dean's her husband, and they're really looking forward to this thing.
It's the other part of this that is really kind of cool is that the people that you have that go out and approach other people are people that are, in some cases are suffering from illnesses themselves, and they've gone through this whole process themselves. So it isn't like you're just, out there talking with somebody that hasn't been through an issue themselves, that they had to go through this process or went through this process and helped be able to educate the doctors and the industry.
Yeah, that's been really rewarding because these folks, so many of them have various conditions, and I say it's much better than me, blathering on. I mean, we've all been touched by this, by a lot of different things, but knock on wood, fortunately I haven't personally. But all these folks that have stuff, it's much better for them to say, hey, I've done this, I enjoy it, you guys can do it too. It's much better. And hey, we have folks now all over the country helping out with this stuff, and it's better than me flying around, that's for sure.
Go figure. So I'm sure the wife likes that a little bit better, you being home. So
yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that, but in theory.
Yeah, mine usually packs my bag and says, "Okay, I'll see you when you get back."
Sorry, you have to go. Don't hurry back. No.
Listen, this is great. Wes is the president. Wes Michael is the president and founder of Rare Patient Voice. And, of course, if you're tuning into the show, you can go to rarepatientvoice.com. And it's helping patients with diseases voice their opinions. And this is a really cool thing. You go there, you can click on the About It, tells you all about it. You can click on the sign up, and you get a free gift for signing up. All of that's explained, and it's real simple. I did it in less than 3 minutes before I got on the air. So
yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that. We're trying to keep it simple. And you know what? We have a request in, right? We get requests all the time for different studies, and we have one now. I believe a lot of these are like a anonymous, hour telephone interview, so it's great. You can really express your opinion. But we have one now. They're looking for folks in opioid rehab, recovering from that. So
really?
So now we get a gift card. We'll invite people to do that, and we hope to have folks because they really need to hear it from the people themselves that have gone through it or have gone through it, and how it can be better.
Something, I'll make sure I put that out on the blogs tomorrow, so that way people can see that they can sign up, and I'll let them know that they're looking for people, and that'll maybe help the situation.
Sign up. We'll look for it right away. Even before, sometimes because as you say, you get a gift from a sign up. Well, we have to go through all the sign-ups. It can take a couple weeks to go through those. But if someone signs up with a condition that we have a study for, they may get invited to a study, pays $100 before we're able to even get them a gift card. So it's like sometimes it happens in reverse order because just the the demand. But
okay. Well, this definitely is a way, and there's a situation, as you heard it, before you came on the air. There's a situation that definitely you need to have patients out there being able, and caregivers being able to let products and services know exactly what needs to be done, because I think sometimes there's a hole in that, and the only ones that can fill that hole and give the answers are the patients and the caregivers. So, on the opioid crisis, it definitely needs the exposure that you're talking about.
It's like you were saying, what is it, 144 days? I don't know, but that was 60,000 a year. I mean, 50,000 were killed in the whole Vietnam War, and everybody went crazy over it. This is 60,000 a year. And these are our best people, young people, people of all ages. It's like, this needs to be put at the top of the list. I mean, we got to fight terrorism, but how many are killed by terrorism every year? 20? I mean, again, I don't want anybody to be killed by that, but this is the most important thing. Car accidents are, 30? I mean, nothing tops this. So,
no, it's scary.
We gotta work
and this is, hey, listen, you know, the conspiracy theory in me says, okay, listen, we have Mexico and we have China and we have other other countries out there that would love to kill off a generation. That's conspiracy theorist in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. You know, it might not be a theory because all of it's coming from either Mexico or China.
That's
you know, you
true.
got carfentanil, you got fentanyl, you got all of these drugs that are out there now that, hey, listen, when back in the day, Tom, Wes, when I was out there doing my thing, I got to tell you, Wes, that, you know, I didn't have to worry about, hey, listen, people died.
Right. You could have some problems, but you probably weren't going to wake up dead from it, you know?
Yeah, and now it's just like with everything they're cutting it with and the massive exposure to carfentanil and fentanyl and you know, hey, listen, there's so much that needs to be done, and it's organizations like, you know, Rare Patient Voice that can give the voice to the patients and the caregivers.
Get the word out.
Please, guys, if you're out there tonight and you're listening and you need to put some information about your crisis and what you're going through, Rare Patient Voice might be able to help. So give them a little look up and go to rarepatientvoice.com. You can also find them at Rare Patient Voice on Facebook. So check them out. And again, I want to thank you guys for your support of Rockers in Recovery and our events and getting out there in front of the public and letting people know that there is education and hope. And we do it through music, and now we get to do it with Rare Patient Voice.
Well, that's terrific. We're excited to work with you guys. And as I say, this is at the top of the list right now. People are starting to realize it, but this is the most important thing the country's facing. We got to work on this. We got to save these people. So.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on the show tonight, Wes. We're going to have you back on after the event, and you know, we'll talk a little bit after the event. But most importantly, I can't wait to meet your folks and to, you know, help some people. Looking forward to it.
That's great, John. Keep up your good work.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a part of Rockers in Recovery, and we will talk soon.
All right. Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you get an opportunity, go to Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. Tim Ryan did a little bit of a show tonight on Rockers in Recovery. It was a 30-minute show that he did. Great information there. We had great information tonight from Hope and Grace from Thomas Dean, CEO, Hope and Grace Recovery. I want to thank them. You can find them at hopeandgracerecoverycenter.com, 888-836-HGRC. That's their phone number. You can also go to Rare Patient Voice. Of course, it's rarepatientvoice.com. Check them out. Read the about. Sign up. Real simple. I did it tonight 2 minutes before, 3 minutes before the show. God bless everybody. We're going to go out with a good friend of ours. His name is, of course, Mike Zito. Mike Zito, the bluesmaninrecovery.com. Check him out.
Just shake your head. You can't believe how these lies are true. All the ghosts of the past, baby, they're still haunting you. Now you ask me why I wanna break your heart. Well, you ask me why, baby. Why would I break your heart? And I don't know why you're asking me, 'cause you knew the answer from the start, darling. You see, I gotta change my ways. That's what you want from me. Change my ways. That's what you want from me. How can I change something that I just don't see? How can I change my ways? I got to prove my love. Girl, I wanna be your man, baby. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. Hell, I'm gonna shed this skin. I'm gonna rise above. Yeah, you see, I'm gonna change my ways. That's what you want from me. Change my ways. That's what you want from me. But how can I change something that I just don't see? How can I change my ways?
Hey, Tim Ryan here with the Man in Recovery Foundation. Just got in from Arkansas. Want to let you know, Rockers in Recovery is having a big event November 11th at the 101 Club in Pompano Beach, Florida. Going to have a ton of music, fellowship. I have the opportunity to come down. I get to speak, share a little bit of hope. Really excited about this event. So if you are in the Florida area, Palm Beach down to Miami, Lake Worth, whatever, head to the 101 Club. Starts at 2 in the afternoon, $10 entrance fee. Come on in, share some fellowship. Again, I will be speaking there. really honored to be able to come in and be a part of this. If you want to follow me, you can check us out on Facebook, From Dope to Hope, or check out our foundation, www.amirf.org. Or for my full-time career, I'm a National Outreach Director for Transformations Treatment Center out of Delray Beach. We will also be a sponsor for this event. Look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.
Rockers in Recovery Radio is based on opinion only and is not meant to treat or diagnose any health or mental health issue of any kind. If you feel you need help for any health-related issues, please contact a physician or mental health professional. The opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily those of Rockers in Recovery.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.